up, what's up, what's up? What's up, guys? Your girl Ariana, that cute little brown girl with a little taste of hand. And today, guys, I am back with a, well, not back. Well, here today, guys, I'm going to be doing a mukbang plus type of tips, advice type of video with you guys. I'm just really hungry, and I was like, why not record? Because you guys need a video for today. And what better way than to talk and eat at the same time? You feel me? So today's title, I made a Twitter post and I asked, what do you guys want me to talk about? What should be my topic? And a lot of things people were asking as if they didn't see my recent videos. Like I did a video about it already, like my pregnancy and things like that. But I guess I haven't really did a video as being a single mom again. So that's what I'm here to do a video about. So shout out to everybody that wanted advice on being a teen mom, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into the video. Today I'm going to be eating JJ's chicken and fish. I had fish earlier. I had took a bite. I bought like a little one piece for me to eat. Okay, so let me get my hot sauce. My hands are clean, by the way, for anybody that's like, oh my god. I definitely need some napkins. I'm gonna tear these bad boys up. Okay, so you guys want advice on being a teen mom. Well, technically, like, am I still in my teens or until I can get a rental car by myself? But one of the questions specifically with the teen mom is, what are some struggles that you have? Definitely one of the struggles that I have as a teen mom would have to be when it come down to boy stuff, as in like when Daniel first learned how to pee standing up, it was definitely like really hard to teach him like stuff like for a boy, because I'm a woman. Like I know white front to back, but I didn't know if you were supposed to tap the top of the thingy or just shake it off. And a lot of boys are saying shake it off, but like I thought it was so nasty. Like, ew, why do you want this young man to tap it? I mean, to shake it off when he can tap it with some tissue. Until Daniel came to me one day, he's like, you know, mommy, my booty itch. And I'm like, let me see. I pulled down his underwear and he has tissue wrapped around his whole private area, and it was just like looked itchy, so I had to give him a bath, etc., etc. And I think another thing that's hard about being a teen parent, or just like a single mom, I won't say teen because like I wouldn't call myself a teenager, but I would say as a single mom, another hard struggle is definitely dating. And when it comes to dating, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat top for real. I mean, I love eating. But you guys, excuse me for smacking. It's my braces, because I gotta chew on the side of my mouth. Okay, but definitely would be dating when it comes down to being like a single mom, because oh my gosh, definitely would be dating, because you have to not only think about yourself, but you have to think about your child as well. So I have to make sure that the people that I bring around are able to serve some kind of purpose. You don't just want, you know, everything that I want around me, I want them to serve a purpose. And I feel like when it comes to dating, like you have to really let it be known, like, hey, I have a kid type of situation. Some people think that you looking automatically for a daddy, buy diapers and stuff, but it's like, no, he's potty trained, he good, and I'm not asking for anything. But I do want somebody to love me enough that they love everything that's a part of me, just like I would love whoever I end up with if they had children. So that's definitely a hard thing. Another thing with struggling is definitely splitting up time. I feel like with two parents, both people who know that this is their seed and they're like both equaling the responsibility, I feel like a lot of stuff is really just on me, when I kind of have to tap into my family when it comes down to babysitting, when it comes down to helping with school in the morning, where I feel like if his dad was active, or even if we was together and worked together as like a family, that he would be able to actually get like that full experience of like having both parents, people who care, and both people who feel like they're obligated, versus like my sisters literally don't have to help me, they just do because they love me, but they don't have to, versus like a parent, you have to, like, you know. So that's definitely something I struggle with, being like a single mom. because I still try to be considerate of my sisters and their lives and things that they have going on. And it can definitely be hard when you know you have your own things that you have to do when it comes down to work or dealing with like a crisis mentally, physically, emotionally. And so it can be definitely hard to balance that. Another thing I would say is a struggle is definitely would have to be the fear of kind of like failing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing as a mom, and I never try to tell people that, oh, it's easy. Like, Daniel's love language is completely different from all of my siblings, completely different from me, and he's still learning who he is, and I'm still learning who he is as well, along with learning who I am as well. So it's like, it's really kind of like I'm taking each day by day. Like, yesterday his favorite color was blue, today is red, and it's like I'm going with the changes. You know, now he likes Handy Mandy, but just the other day it was FGTV, and before that it was Ryan, but he still likes Ryan, but then he also is in love with Ben 10. It's like I'm still learning who he is as he still kind of figures out who he is as a person. And it definitely can be hard when like you get to these moments where you feel like maybe you're failing, and it feels like maybe you're doing all these things wrong, or maybe you should be doing more. And it's just like you gotta take it day by day. Like, even when it comes down to punishing him, like some punishments, like, you know, spoil a child or something like that. But for me, it was really like Daniel yelled at me like not too long ago, and like my feelings was really hurt, but I had no way to respond because I just kept thinking like, oh my god, what if he turns out to be like this disrespectful kid, and all because I told him to go to bed. And it threw me off. Like, I was so shocked, and I'm like, I see him as an adult, and I wanted to snatch him up, but I didn't. And I really wanted to, but I didn't know how to respond because, like, he's kind of like me in a way when he's kind of stubborn. Certain punishments don't affect him like you would want him to. Like, oh, I'm going to take your game away. Okay, I'm going to just play. Okay, don't play, stand in the corner. Okay. You know, or I'm just going to talk your head off. And then it's like, I'm still learning how to properly discipline him the most effective way. And I'm learning from like my parents, people I've seen around me, my family, aunties, aunts, uncles, whatever you want to call them, and seeing them really kind of open my eyes to different ways of trying to raise a child by yourself. Like, it's definitely hard, and it's up to me. So it's not like you have two different people raised from different backgrounds trying to come in together. But I feel like if it was two people, it would be 10 times easier, because sometimes when I don't want to be bothered and you can kind of tap somebody in, it just helps a lot. And so it's like I struggle definitely with like trying to find a proper discipline for him. I also struggle when it comes down to like, he like regular milk, but I drink almond milk, and it's like that's like a food dietary thing. And of course you like in charge, but it's like he also knows what he likes and what he doesn't like. It's just kind of like you want to give them an option, a choice, an opinion, but you also have to like stick to what you believe. But then it's like, what happens when like your beliefs change and your mindset and things like that change? It's like every day is something different. I feel like right now me and Daniel are figuring out how to be mom and son to each other. And it sounds crazy, like you're the mom, but it's like I'm still figuring out how to be a mom. I see my mom even to this day still figuring out how do I respond, because this daughter doesn't respond how Airi does or how Anela does. So that's definitely something that I struggle with, being a single mom. And dating is definitely hard because you don't want to bring somebody around. Daniel ends up liking them, and then he talking about them, and then we're not together, and it's like, okay, what do I tell you? And then you don't want to like not bring somebody around, because then what happens when like your kid can kind of show you an aspect of somebody that you didn't see at first. But it's like you can't just have everybody around your kid. So you definitely, for me, I'd be trying to be prayed up about the certain people that I'm entertaining, the certain people that I give my time of day, and things like that. And yeah, that's just something that I personally struggle with. At the top of the head, just me thinking, I know I just wanted to give you guys like a video, talk about this topic, and I'm definitely starving, so I'm not gonna lie to y'all and be like, oh my god, I got on a plane. But yeah, it also says, what are you worried about as Daniel grows up? I have to be honest, and I know I'm on my faith walk, but something that I definitely battle with is the fear of Daniel not having a active father figure in his life, because I know how important it is to have both a mother and a father figure in your life. who love you, treat you with respect, and also just the unconditional love is so important. And so that's something that I worried about a lot until kind of recently with my faith walk. And I still have moments like when you're single and you're talking to certain people and like you stop talking to people and you're like, yo, Daniel's getting older, time is flying by. I want him to experience a 2-parent household soon, but I also know that I can't rush God's timing at all. And God's timing is always the perfect time. So it's kind of like, if it's not right now, then it's for a reason. And I know that God is going to take care of Daniel, despite if in my head I feel like he's going to become a better person if there's 2 parents or not. Versus like, I know God is already, God has a plan for Daniel himself. And so that's something that I'm trying to make sure. I always have to remind myself constantly, like, okay, stay focused. Like, God, he's taking care of it. Daniel's going to be okay. Like, in an area where you think like, oh, I'm lacking, this might mess him up for life, is like an area where he's really like, He learned how to heal with certain things. I don't really know. I can't explain to you how God works and why he does certain things. But I do know that everything that's happening from where we sleep, the house that we're in, my mindset, the things I've learned, the people the people I've come across and things like that are all for a bigger purpose. And I'm just trying to take it day by day and, just be obedient and prayerful about it. But that's definitely something that I have to be honest with you that I worry about sometimes, and it's something that I'm praying about to get delivered from as well. Something else I'm worried about is something else I worry about. Delicious. Something else that I worry about. I worry about. Let me just sit back. Oh, I worry about Daniel getting mistreated. I worry about Daniel being a black male. I worry for just like his safety, like being a black male. All the things that are going on right now, putting him in the right school at the right time, him not realizing who he is and not learning his identity and like going through kind of like the same steps as me. Like, I want him to experience life so like amazing that it can be when you kind of let go and let your creator lead you, and when you kind of stop thinking about what society and what people try to put on you, if it's you talk white or you should be here or you should know this. I really want Daniel to experience, like, I want Daniel to enjoy his whole entire childhood. I feel like for me, when it came down to school, I didn't know who I was, and I was adapting to everything else versus like standing solid in what I believed, what I liked, what I felt, who I wanted to hang out with, and why. And I feel like a big part of that affected a lot of things like in my later life as an adult. I definitely just worry about I definitely worry, and this is what makes me want to get my stuff together. I definitely worry about the stuff that I don't tackle firsthand now that may affect him later. And I don't want to get all deep with y'all, but generational curses, generational decisions are really important. What I use this time while God allows me on this earth to do is so important to what I leave behind for my child and for his children's children. And I just think about the moment that he may have his spiritual hiatus where it's just him and God. I don't want him to come out of it like, yo, I should have been working and praying, versus I want him to just be able to focus on one thing when he wants to focus on. I want him to have option as like college as an option, but not something that he feels like he needs or has to do. And then if he does, he can go to whatever school and not have to worry about if I'll get a FAFSA or if I'll get a scholarship or loan or whatever, because it can be paid for. He only has to worry about like, oh, my grade's good, get accepted, whatever the case may be. By the time he goes to college, who knows what the world is going to be like then. But I just want I definitely just worry about Dan. Like, I just worry every aspect. Like, when I be learning about stuff, I'm like, yo, I never want Daniel to have to worry about bad credit, good credit. I got to make sure I learn this so that way he never has to worry about this. But I also have to make sure that I don't just do it for him, that I teach him, because this stuff is not taught to us if you don't know. Like, this stuff is so important, how much stuff we know and don't know, how much stuff our parents know and don't know, and how much stuff, like, you learn over time. I just want Daniel to have, like, the very best life as much as possible, and as with having God as the center. And so that's why I really focus on trying to be a better woman, not only for myself but for my son, because, like, you know how, like, you know, I want a girl like my mom, and it's like you want your mom to be like a, you know what I'm saying, like, my mom prayed, like, you know what I'm saying, and not, oh, my mom was cute and my mom just used to let her husband do whatever, and oh my god, my mom's a snobby person. Like, I wanted to be like, no, my mom prayed when situations got tough. Like, I see my mom go through the most toughest situations with a smile on her face and made sure that I never lacked and that she spent time with me. Like, I really want, when I leave this earth, for Daniel to know how important he means to me. Like, I can't express that enough. And it's not just with what I leave behind. It's like what I leave behind wisdom wise with him, the lessons that I teach him. And that's why it's so important for me to pray and get, like, spiritually in tune, so that way I can, you know, lead him in the right direction. Like, these, you know, because, you know what I'm saying, like, God is answering prayers from my ancestors, and I pray for Daniel's children, and everybody connected to the Lynch name after. So that's definitely something that I worry about. It says, how is it raising your son by yourself, and how has that affected you? I feel like I kind of answered that in a way, but okay, at the beginning, y'all, I used, like, and everything I'm saying is kind of like how I felt and how I still have feelings about. I feel like a complete failure. Like, I felt like a legit failure. I felt like, you know, like I had let my family down. I felt like if I would have, you know, waited or made better decisions, that I would have had Daniel at a better season. Jesus. We probably were supposed to drink, not eat. Ooh. This sugar's so freaking good, bro. Ooh, man. Ooh. But I definitely the hardest thing for me, and raising him by myself, like I said, it's just making the right decisions. Everything I do is going to affect him in some way. If it's the neighborhood I pick, if it's what programs I pick, if it's, you know, the husband I pick, the men I date, like, these things are important. And it's just like, everything I do is so important. So it's like, my life is not my own, so I can't just make decisions. I can't just date this person even if I know it's not this. I can't just stay in certain situations even if it's so comfortable or whatever. I can't just do these things because it's not about just me. Like, what I do affects him, and how he sees relationships, how he sees men. Like, these things are important, and picking the right daycare, being prayerful about these things are so important, because if I don't pray and I don't allow God to give me wisdom and discernment, I'm going to make bad decisions that will affect him. Where if I allow God to lead me, of course Daniel's going to go through some things, but it's so much stuff that can be, like, prevented when you use God's wisdom. Like, you know, like when you trust in God, don't take a left, make a right, and now you prevented your own personal accident. It's just like, these things are so important to me, and it's so hard because, like, what happens when you're not mentally in the right place? Like, I'm not gonna get emotional, but I just be thinking, like, what happens if I fall off the wagon again and I'm not in tune with my spiritual walk, and then what? And that's like I keep telling myself, like, that's not an option. And a spiritual walk, my faith walk, has not been easy at all, but it's definitely been the prayers together as a team, with my accountability partners, with my family, my mom, just being so supportive from the moment that I told her I was pregnant. Gave her like a little month or two, and then it was just full grandma mode. Like, these things molded me into the woman that I am now, and continue to mold me, even watching my mom, just how the way she would carry herself. Like, these things are so important. And I just feel like my biggest fear is like, am I gonna mess up? Like, you raise the bar so high. Why am I getting emotional? Okay, but you raise the bar so high, you look at these people and you like, okay, I want to go down in Daniel's personal history despite what the world thinks. And he goes like, my mom was a great mom. Like, yo, like, my mom was a great mom. When he goes in these places, it's like he loves me so much and just understands that, like, oh my goodness, okay, we're not gonna die. Everything that I do is really for him. Like, that's my best friend. Like, I love him. I'm a true girl, cause that's my baby. That's my freaking baby. This food's so good. And so yeah, that's definitely one thing for me with him that I struggle with as a mom. And I feel like a lot of people probably struggle with that thing too, but that's just for me. And just lately, I just take it day by day. Like, I pray. I try to make sure, I pray over him when he sleeps. I'm trying to show him to pray. I love when he's like, oh, don't bother my mommy, she's doing Bible study. And I just be so happy because it's like, I don't want to put on like a fake front on for him, but I just want him to see like I'm not this person because I woke up by myself. Like, it's really been like God really came in my life and just turned everything around. And it took me freaking 24 years and 8 months to realize like exactly what I need to do to deepen my relationship with Christ, and like what direction and how to be spiritually tuned, and seeing healthy marriages and seeing healthy friendships and seeing healthy businesses and people who have all these amazing things, and not because they stepped on other people's heads to get to the top, but they serve the one and only God and allowed them to lead them from marketing to business and to all of these things. And I don't want to get off a topic because this video is about how to be a single mom, but I just know how important everything is, like, and I think like if I fall off, it will mess up everything for Daniel. Like, and that's why I have to stay on task. Like, I have to make sure I put him in the right rooms when God needs him in those rooms so he can get what he needs to get. And so it's all about being like spiritually in tune, and it's so important the role that I play. And so I just feel like, yeah. Those are the hard things that I've experienced as a mom and that I think about. But I know God has Daniel in his hands, and I know Daniel was brought in this earth for an amazing reason, and he definitely changed my life. Like, my mindset of being young and wild and free I was still young and wild. I was still free, but it was like free and focused. You had to add the focus at the end, because it was like I couldn't just do what I wanted to do because I had a son at home, and I couldn't stay out and party. I couldn't go to Atlanta Clark even though I had a full college scholarship and a full ride. Like, I could have been in Atlanta a while ago, but it's just like that wasn't the timing for me to be there, because I would have never went to Houston. I would have never met the people that I met. I would have never, got into a relationship that taught me so much about who I am. I would have never experienced something so great and then moved to another great place. I would have never experienced where I am now, even after everything kind of went its own way, to having that moment that I needed, that I had to completely just surrender everything that I thought I knew and thought I wanted, thought I had, and give it to God, and just allow him to completely just take out the recipe and put in new ingredients, mix it up, and just molding me into the wife, the woman, the entrepreneur, the businesswoman, and whatever else he may title me in the future. Like, these are the things. That's why I'm pushing so hard this year, because last year God was like, yo, like, faith without work is dead. And I wasn't doing the work because I was scared. Like, well, what if I fail? What if I fall? What if I fall? And I cannot fall. I don't think y'all understand. Like, this stuff is hard. This faith walk is hard. Sometimes God answers me right away. Sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes I still haven't got an answer for some things. Some things I can't even imagine. Like, I be all like, yeah, when I get a husband and somebody just waking up and loving my son as much as I do, it's so freaking scary, because like I love him a lot, and it's like somebody who's not his father to come in and love my son that much. The only person who can do something that amazing is God. And I'm like, that's why I gotta do what I'm supposed to do, because my life is not my own. It's so much bigger than me, and I have to like get it together. That's why I'm pushing so hard. That's why when things get tough and I'm heated, I'm mad, I'm freaking sad, I try to go back to prayer. I try to read. I try to just clear my mind. And it's not easy all the time, but God brought people in my life that where I lack, I can have people to call. And that's when my mom comes in, like, hey mom, can you pray for me, with me? That's when my friends come in, Sim, Manje, Labria, whoever, and I can call, and everybody can just pray for me, with me. And these are moments and things that I needed. And everything happens for a reason, and it's hard to see that when you're in it. But once I got out of it, I was just able to see, like, being a single mom, I'm not accepting that title. And it sounds crazy, but I'm not accepting that title. It definitely was a season, and I'm definitely going to keep striving for greatness and everything like that. But that is my tips, advice, story time, whatever you want to call this, with how to handle being a single mom, or how I personally handle it. If you want, like, step 1, do this, then let me know, I guess. But like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification, hit that notification button, comment down below. Team Airi all day, every day. If you didn't know, now you know. My food was getting cold, and this chicken is bomb. Other than that, I'm out of here. Peace. Are y'all feeling the black hair? Comment down below.